What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the Serie A Week 25 predictions. And I've just got a shout out last week, Week 24. We had 5 perfect scores. Juve winning 2-1. Atalanta, we had the result winning 2-0, but 5-0 was a tough prediction. We had AC Milan to win 2-0. We had Torino and Genoa to draw 1-1. We had Roma to win by a goal, got the scoreline a bit wrong. We had Cagliari to win 2-1, exactly right. I had Lazio to win by a lot of goals. I tipped Lazio -1. This one was wrong. I had Bologna to win 1-0. Very, very close though. This one again wrong. I had Napoli to win 2-0, 1-1. That was the kind of upset that I said was probably going to happen, but I couldn't tell you which game. And then we had Inter Milan to win 2-1 as well. The most successful game week on the Full 90 channel. It was so good that the other guy that joined at week 20 in my random league actually stopped playing. So we've done 5 Serie A game weeks and we've got 9 perfect scores already. Flashing up on the screen are all of the people that are supporting me over on the Full 90 Patreon. If you want to get access to exclusive members, tips, and accumulators, I actually tipped Juventus to beat Como 2-1 at 9 on the Patreon as well. So if you want to see mega accas, correct scores, and you want to shout out in every single video, you can click the first link in the description to head over and join the Full 90 Patreon. But with that being said, make sure you leave your predictions for this game week down in the comments, and of course drop a like while you are there. First up, we have Bologna up against Torino. Now, it's clear to see from the recent form that a draw is quite likely. Both teams unbeaten in the last 6, Torino in the last 7, but only winning the one game against Cagliari. We had the 1-1 draw, a 1-1 draw. We've got a 0-0 here, a 2-0 there. I think it's going to be low scoring, and I'm actually going to go for Bologna to win 1-0. It could be a 0-0, it could be a 1-1, obviously, but I am going to tip Bologna to win at 1.8. I think they need to bounce back from this 0-0 draw against Lecce because that's a poor result. So I think Bologna are going to bounce back with the home form, get that win 1-0. After this, it is Atalanta up against Cagliari. Atalanta winning 5-0 against Hellas Verona, and Cagliari, as expected, beating Parma 2-1. I think this is going to be high scoring. I think both teams will score. I'm going to go for the home side, Atalanta to win 3-1, and to keep the 3-0, the 4-0, the 5-0 all on side, my tip is going to be Atalanta to win and over 2.5 goals at 1.9 rather than Atalanta and both teams to score. But that boosts the odds, like I said, to 1.9, much better than the 1.4 that you can have here. After this, it's Lazio up against Napoli. Lazio destroying Monza as we predicted. Napoli dropping points again in the Serie A. Obviously, they went on a massive winning streak and they drew with Roma. I don't know how they drew that game. And they drew with Udinese as well. Napoli, they're getting closer and closer to dropping off that top spot. Inter Milan are breathing down their necks, and it's a very difficult fixture for Inter this week as well. So Napoli, if they can win this, will be in a brilliant position. However, I'm going to go with a bit of home form and go for a 1-1 draw. The tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.8. After this, it is AC Milan against Verona. Verona, as we said, losing 5-0, and AC Milan, as we predicted last week, beating Empoli 2-0. I'm going for a repeat scoreline here. AC Milan to win 2-0. I know they have to play Feyenoord in the Champions League. I think they will actually beat Feyenoord. I'm going 2-1 in that one if you wanted to know. That's in my Champions League video on the channel as well. But I'm going to go 2-0 to AC Milan, and instead of 1.34 odds, my tip is going to be AC Milan to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.2. So that allows for a 3-0. A 2-1, as well as the 2-0 and 1-0, which I think is pretty likely. After this, we have Fiorentina up against Como. Como losing out 2-1 to Juventus as predicted, and Fiorentina losing out 2-1 to Inter Milan, again as predicted. So for this one, I'm going to actually go for a Fiorentina win. There are 3 wins before that loss. Como, they are winless in 3. I'm going to go for I believe I went, 2-1 to Fiorentina, and I'm just going to tip Fiorentina to win at 1.95. I'm not going to go Fiorentina and both teams to score, but you could just go both teams to score. You could go over 2.5 goals, but I'm going to go for the 2-1 win to Fiorentina. After this, it's Monza up against Lecce, and you know what? I don't know how to separate these two teams. They are, I mean, Lecce, they're performing better in the league and they're on a better run. But Monza, they're at home. Maybe they get something. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And the tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.95. After this, it is Udinese up against Empoli. One win between the two teams in the last 14 games. I don't think either team are going to win this one either. I'm actually going to go for a 0-0 draw. And my tip is going to be, I don't know what's going on there. My tip is going to be draw and under 2.5 goals at 3.75. You can get the draw at 3.2, I believe, but I don't think it'll be 2-2, 3-3, 4-4. So that just gets you a bit of extra value for a 1-1 or a 0-0. I've never seen this before, but Super Brew has in fact died. I don't really know what to do. I guess I'll get back to you in a minute. I might have changed clothes. It might be a different day. Yeah. All right, we're back. There was a bit of an outage on Super Brew, but 0-0, draw and under 2.5 goals. After this, we have Parma up against Roma. Parma, we predicted they would lose 2-1 to Cagliari. Roma, we said they'd win 2-1. They ended up winning 1-0 against Venezia, and I think they're going to win this one as well. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Roma, and other than the draw and under 2.5 goals, I'm going for my highest value tip of the video, Roma to win and both teams to score at 3.5. After this, a massive game with potential ramifications for the title, top four, and everything else. It's Juventus up against Inter Milan. This one's quite a difficult one to predict. I could absolutely see this being a draw. Obviously, Juve had a massive draw streak, but since then, they ended it with beating AC Milan, losing to Napoli, and then winning 2 games on the bounce. So they're not drawing any games, and I don't think they're going to draw this one. This is just purely a gut feeling. I suppose on balance of the season, you'd have to argue Inter have been the better side. So I am just going to shade it to Inter Milan. Not super confident, but I'm going to tip Inter Milan draw no bet at 1.57. I'm not sure if Juventus will be able to beat them. They might, but Inter Milan draw no bet at 1.57. I'd stay away from this game and just enjoy the football and perhaps make your picks and bets on other games in the league. The final game of the week, it's Genoa up against Venezia. We had it last week. The correct score prediction 1-1. The tip once again at both teams are scoring under 3.5 goals, and I'm going for it again. Venezia to get another point. As you can see, they've drawn a couple here. 1-1, and the tip is going to be both teams to score and under 3.5 goals. And instead of 3.1 like it always has been, it is both teams to score and under 3.5 goals at 3.2. So there you go. There's a summary of my picks. We've got the fabled 1-1 draw in there with both teams to score and under 3.5 goals. There's some really interesting matchups. I think for the last week, there was some clear winners. It was very much top half against the bottom half. This week, it's a lot more balanced. There's some bottom half clashes. There's some top half clashes and some in the middle. So this is going to be a harder week than last week. We're probably not going to get 5 perfect scores correct again. If I had to give you my favorite tips for perfect scorelines, it would be the AC Milan 2-0 again, possibly the Bologna 1-0, and I also quite like the look of the Roma 2-1, the Genoa Venezia 1-1. I think if I'm going to get correct scores, the most likely scorelines will be either 2-1, 1-1, or 2-0. Those are my most successful picks, and that's what I'm going for in this video. Regardless, if you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe down below so you don't miss any prediction videos. Leave your predictions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.